legendary enough for you?
It was great. Okay. Yeah, it was legendary.
We want to make sure that you're introed the right way here to the inaugural interview on the Morning Rush, right? You and Derek didn't have him.
I don't remember Todd joining us, but it's great to hear from you on a cold day. You staying warm and bundled up? What's the weather like where you're at?
Oh, same as there. Probably not as bad. We got about 1.5 inches of snow here in Little Rock, but sun's out now, so maybe it'll clear up a little bit.
Yeah. About 5 years ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, Todd, you don't know me, but we all know you. You were coaching at Shorter, right? And I had a game. I officiate basketball, and I ended up in a game one night, refereeing one of your games, and it was neat to be in that moment. Your team didn't play particularly well. You were a little frustrated, but the coaching career and your influence of those guys was neat to watch from the outside looking in.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Try to work hard at what I do. I enjoy being coaching. I enjoy giving back to those guys, the knowledge of basketball that all the greats have given to me over the years. So, it's just a passion of mine.
I'm just glad I didn't have to come back and tell everybody I gave Todd a technical foul. That was the best part of it.
Well, there's a lot of them that have, so you just be one of the group.
Oh,
no big deal. Part of coaching.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, Coach, your influences. Obviously, Nolan Richardson's probably at the top of that list. You guys were a part of his first. I mean, how special, how emotional, how significant was it to be a part of Coach Richardson's first Final Four team in 1990?
Oh, it was great, man. We, as freshmen, when we came in, we all wanted to do, something special for him because, we heard all the chatter about Coach K and Roy Williams, and, we just thought Coach Richardson was in the caliber of those guys, but he never got mentioned. So, it was our goal to try to make something happen, not only for ourselves, for the school as well, but especially for him.
And you think about that year, the success you guys had as regular season, conference tournament champs, and then to beat North Carolina and Texas on the way to Denver. I mean, that had to be one of the best years of your life, hadn't it?
Yeah, it was. One thing about the NCAA tournament, everything has to fall in place. Whether you're a number one team in the country or a number 12 team in the country, the things just have to fall in place. And for us to be able to get to Dallas, we looked at the schedule when he came out. We said if we could get to Dallas, we had a great chance to get to the Final Four because we dominated in Dallas, our fans dominated in Dallas, and we just wanted to do what we could to get.
Yeah. What do you take us back to that game in Denver, playing Duke? Duke had really started to establish itself under Coach K, as you mentioned, as one of the blue bloods of college basketball. Take us back to that day and that weekend in Denver.
Man, it was an awesome weekend in Denver. We actually played well most of the game. That particular game will be the only game that I could ever say that an Arkansas team coached by Nolan Richardson ran out of gas. Because that's exactly what happened. We ran out of gas. The altitude got to us. We had hopes and couldn't finish them.
You're just talking about, Coach K and Roy Williams and wanting to elevate and put Coach Richardson on that same plateau with everyone else nationally as they talked about coaches. It wasn't very many months, I won't even say years, months before y'all's feat of getting to the Final Four that, people in our state were questioning Coach Richardson, and he was somewhat on the hot seat, and that year and y'all's accomplishment squarely took him off of that.
Well, I think that was kind of height. Everybody knew what he had in myself, Lee Mayberry, Oliver Miller. We had a great freshman class with Warren Lynn, Darryl Hawkins. I mean, everybody knew we had it. Just might take a little time. I think what we did, we sped up the process.
Yeah.
Because no one thought at Southmore that we would be able to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So I think we sped up the process. And once we did that, Corliss and those guys just took from there, and it just took off.
So great to honor this team coming up this weekend at the Missouri game. How close does this group stay? Do y'all have a text group? How often do you talk to Lee and Big O and the others on this team?
I talked to most of the guys a lot. Some of them we didn't really connect until we kind of started getting this reunion thing together and got a group text together. But as far as Dale and Oliver, Clyde Fletcher, Lee and I talk probably every other day at least. I kept in touch with most of these guys. We have a bond that's, more than basketball. We shared a lot of tears together, a lot of talks in the dorms, just things of that nature. All of us have kids now who've, seen each other and grow over each other. So, it's just more of a family-type atmosphere, and it always has been since day one.
We're talking with the Razorback legend Todd Day here on the Morning Rush, and Todd, unfortunately, some of your teammates have passed away. I mean, what has that been like as guys you just alluded to, you dorms with, hung out with, played with, and now just not getting a chance to catch up with them now today?
Yeah, man, it just lets you know how life's short. You just got to cherish every moment that you get with these guys, especially when you get up in age. We all can't live forever. So, it's just the memories you have of those guys. You just try to keep going. And I know Ron's son's here in Little Rock, so I see him sometimes and just catch up with him, and he comes by for dinner every now and then. So, I just try to do what I can. I'm not, doing anything else anybody else wouldn't do. But, those guys will always be in our hearts. They're always sacred to what we've done. Whenever they put any of us in the grave, we'll always be remembered as a group. So that's what's great about it.
Todd, you kind of, again, mentioned memories and stuff, and I think we as fans always think about the great basketball memories that you provided, but maybe what are some things outside of that you're kind of talking about? What do you remember and cherish about your time with that basketball team all those years?
Man, the bus rides to the game. Man, Arlen Bowers had us cracking up every other game and kept us loose. Ron comes in the morning with his jokes about practice. So, the Coach Edgar has a lot of jokes. Just, all the guys, man, the coaching staff was awesome. They put up with a lot of crap that they didn't have to because they knew that we had a winning program. And, they tried to change culture for us, help us become men. A lot of us done that. Have moved on to, do great things in coaching as they did for us. So, it's just a good shout out. I'm really glad that they're doing this. Not for myself or Lee or guys like that. We've always gotten the recognition of being great Razorback. But these guys who help put in the hard work with us day in and day out, who helped us be great on the court, off the court as well. It's time for them to get some recognition as being great Razorbacks as well.
Did y'all give Z a hard time as a student manager back in the day? Did y'all mess with him a little bit?
Man, just me probably. It was just me and a couple other ones. Most of them loved Z. I was a little hard on Z. I don't know why, just, being a kid. But, Z and I have a great relationship. He's always been there. He's one of the great Razorbacks of all time. If you look back at it, Z has done some amazing things for the university that a lot of people don't give him credit for, who, don't live in that area. But, man, what a great Razorback.
Yeah. Razorback great Todd Day with us here on the Morning Rush. I remember that feeling following even the loss in Denver that, hey, this is the first of several Final Fours to come with this group. And I remember the disappointment after that Kansas game in the Elite Eight. What was the feeling amongst your team after y'all left the Denver and kind of started looking ahead to the next year? What did y'all believe was possible for the couple of years y'all still had together?
Man, we thought we were going to go back to back. I'm going to even tell you a lie. We thought that we had the opportunity that we had. We didn't seize the moment. And then we came next year with IBM and some more great players. And we just thought that, we had a chance. I think the Kansas loss was the most disappointing loss of my Razorback career because I knew how bad we wanted to beat them. Mm-hmm. I'll probably tell you a little story that nobody else knows unless they're on the team. Kansas played Indiana the game before, and there had been a big thing about Coach Richardson and Bobby Knight. Everybody wanted to see it. We wanted to see it. Bobby was talking a little crap, so we wanted to match up with him too. He was one of the guys that we wanted Coach to beat. So maybe we kind of came out flat against Kansas because, we were looking for Indiana. We thought Indiana was going to beat Kansas, and we wanted them bad. And it kind of took a little air out of ourselves, not giving us an excuse or anything. But that's kind of what happened. But we really, really wanted to play Indiana that year.
I never heard that before. So fast forward to 94. Obviously, your group was not part of the championship, but you got to see your program and your coach take down Duke, the team that knocked you out of the Final Four several years prior in 90. What was the feeling like, even though you weren't part of that team and that program, but watching your coach and your team knock out the team and Scotty Thurman making the shot against the team that had beaten you guys as young freshmen and sophomores?
Man, you couldn't tell me I wasn't on that team. There's no way you could tell me that I wasn't out on the court, even though I wasn't there. I actually was in Charlotte the night before, I think it was. We had a game. I was with the Milwaukee Bucks, and we were playing Charlotte. So I was able to get to the gym. And today, gameplay, Big O was in town. I think Phoenix was there playing, so he got to go to the game. So, man, we felt like we were part of the team. We always do. You know, congratulations, kudos to those guys for giving Coach what he deserves and giving him his flowers. But, man, every time they stepped on the court and played, I mean, even to today, you know, I feel like I'm still there.
Yeah.
Todd, I wonder if you could give us a sense of what that 1v2 matchup was like against UNLV. And we just had one this past Saturday with Alabama and Auburn. And I know it didn't go Arkansas's way that day, but, I mean, that was the craziest atmosphere that people have talked about. I swear 30,000 people were there, according to them. But what was that game like against the Running Rebels and Larry Johnson and that squad?
Man, the most exciting college basketball game that I had ever been a part of. That I've ever watched on TV, even after rewatching it. It was just so much excitement from both. I don't think we had 1 versus 2 in Arkansas ever before that. So it was just like, you know, looking outside the dorm, you could see all the tents, all the people out there lining up, you know, trying to get in early, students trying to get in early, get great seats. You know, phones buzzing about tickets, you know. I mean, it was just crazy, like you were at an NBA All-Star game or something. So, but the court, you know, you got 10 pros out there battling, doing the best job they possibly can. You got 2 legendary coaches. I mean, it was all you could ask for in a basketball game.
Yeah. So fast forward to now, you see John Calipari at the helm of this program. You know, the UMass teams that Coach Nolan's teams, Coach Richardson's teams squared off with, all the great Arkansas-Kentucky matchups, even with Pitino and Calipari. What was your feeling when he was announced as your head coach, and as you watch this team today, what goes through your mind as someone that's been in that spot?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we when Musselman left, we definitely need a legendary coach to come in and keep the program going, and you know, who better for it than Calipari? So, you know, I think he's doing a great job, you know, with only 8 guys, really. So, you know, I think he'll have a great group of guys next year to make a deep run. Hopefully they can finish the season out well and creep into the tournament. But just like any other coach, any other program, it takes you a couple of years to get your guys in there, to get your stuff going, your strategies, your defensive philosophies, and all of that kind of stuff. So it'll take them a couple of years to get rolling, but hey, we know Cal will get them in there and get them rolling. And
Todd, it's my understanding in talking with Daryl Hawkins about this, Cal was kind of the one that spearheaded getting this reunion going. I know he had talked with Hawk about this a little bit in the offseason. It seems like he really pushed for this, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he comes from Kentucky, you know, great tradition. You know, all those guys always come back and visit, and, you know, they always pour into Kentucky. And I think that he'll bring that back to Arkansas as well.
All right, Todd, we really appreciate you joining us this morning. Before we let you go, I know there's been a push by a good chunk of fans to see a certain jersey number up in the rafters of you. Is that been something you've been approached about? Is that something that could potentially be in the works down the road when it comes to retiring your number along with Corliss and
I've been semi-approached about it. I mean, I know a lot of my teammates and a lot of fans are pushing for it. I mean, I just, you know, it would be great to have it, but, you know, to me it's more for, my grandkids, my kids who really didn't get to see me play as a collegiate, for them to have something to look at, to cherish when I'm not here. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would love to have it up there, but, I'm not going to really push the issue unless, somebody else wants to.
Yeah. I remember a lot of those 20-point games. Man, you had a bunch of them. So, Todd, great to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday when the Hogs take on Missouri.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me on, and I'll see you Saturday. Go Hogs.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.